I'm so sorry. That's so sad. I found a strength seed in your pot. Thank you for that. Goodbye, I'm sorry your son's dead. Okay, so I think we've bled this town dry, as it were. I got all the most powerful items from the shop, because money is no longer an option to me anymore. Oh, there's also the item shop back in the elf village, so I'll go scope that out, because there was no weapons store here, and I'd like some new weapons. Oh, I gave Sammy a wizard staff, though. It only upped her attack by 1, but I think I remember somebody saying that the wizard staff could also do other shit. I sure hope it does. It's a frickin' wizard staff. It's just called wizard. Frickin' better be useful. Excuse me. So that short story I was talking about yesterday, or, like, I guess 3 minutes ago to me, it was about this kid who was like, he was very poor, he lived in a pretty broken home. This is like in like medieval knights time, you know, your cliche fantasy setting, but it was like a modern, it was a very modern, both in time period and in style, story. Oh, come on! Then why even bother? Just a freaking gag? Just as a haha, elves hate humans gag? Come on, I saved the fucking day. Give me something. You know what? Screw it. Then if that's the way you're gonna be, I'm just gonna go straight back to freaking Kazav. Let's just do that. And, so, it was about this kid who, like, goes out exploring in the woods to, like, get away from his shitty dad and hunt for food or something, I guess, and he finds this giant, this just wall of huge, just massive wall of thorns. And he went all the way around, and it was just, like, the wall was surrounding something. Just large, freaking, just wall of thorns, essentially. And so he starts digging at it, like he's just, like he becomes obsessed, just days and days and days and days of digging through these thorns, and just, he finally makes it through. And it's this kingdom. It's this beautiful, serene-looking kingdom, and, like, everything's frozen. Like, everyone's asleep. It's exactly like that fucking town was. Everyone was perfectly preserved, but everyone was asleep. And, like, and it was really creepy, but eventually, like, it's, hey, no one's beating him, you know, no one's yelling at him, so he just sort of makes it his home. And he just hangs out, and he just looks around the kingdom, and just gleans what the hell happened from just all the people and what they were in the books in there, or something, I think, something like that. And I don't even remember how it ends. I don't even remember what it was called. I feel bad now. If anybody knows about that horrendously obscure story, please remind me of what it was called, and I will tell you what it is. I feel bad for bringing it up now, because I don't remember what it was. It was a really neat story. And, I'm not gonna spoil it, because I don't remember how the hell it ended. Short story, though. I miss short stories. No one writes them anymore, because no one reads them anymore, because no one's selling them anymore. The only people who can get away with, like, publishing books or short stories are already established novel authors, essentially, you know? There's no more, like, short story kings, really. There's no O. Henrys, for better or for worse. There's no Poes. There's no nobody. Like, and there might be people who do make a living off of writing short stories, but, you know, they're not household names, you know? Not like Lovecraft was. Not like a bunch of people used to be, you know, because there used to be, like, you know, people used to read magazine publications of, like, short story collections. It was like the freaking literary equivalent of, like, Shonen Jump, you know? There's none of that. So there's no market for it. Because I really love short stories, because they're not that short, you know? It'll still take you a little while. You have to dedicate some time to reading them, but, you know, you finish them within the day, and it tells a really good story. People are so obsessed with novels that take days and weeks of dedication to read. Sometimes I don't got that kind of time, you know? Sometimes I want a nice, concise story in like a little edible bite-sized amount. That's why television is reigning supreme. People these days don't even have time to go to fucking movies anymore. They'll marathon Netflix though. Wow, the repellent's effect just wore off? That repellent didn't do shit! Like, oh man. Also, where do I go? I feel like no one really told me anything. Maybe someone in the elf village had some info. Can I go there? No. Where's the map, though? Let me get that let me scope out that magic map. I'm pretty sure it works the same as, like, a Minecraft map. Where you can look at the places you've been, and the map slowly fills itself out as you go. Oh, it's probably in here. Magic map. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. Yeah, see. What? No, I wanted to zoom in on that. Frickin'... But yeah, wow, we got a lot of ground to cover, folks. Can I do anything? Can I zoom in? No? Well, grand. Guess we're just gonna aimlessly wander around until we stumble onto something. Ugh. But yeah, I read a lot of shorts. Oh, dude, I should just talk about the short stories I read in that class, because they were really neat, but they were also really kind of messed up in those ways. Like, everyone was asleep. And that kid just, he spent his whole life, like, in that village, just eating their food, and, in one creepy case, just, like, freaking, like, having his way with this one passed out chick, who was, like, the thing was, like, that was obviously controversial. Like, the text wasn't implying that was a good thing, that you should go around messing with cursed sleeping people, like people who can't wake up, because that's obviously just the equivalent of messing with some drunk chick who's passed out. You shouldn't do that. I think the thing about it was, it's not a moral story. It's not a story that's trying to tell a moral, so it treats immoral actions nonchalantly, because immoral actions happen. You know, I think a lot of people don't appreciate that about literature sometimes, about, like, controversial things like that. They take it as controversy because people assume that, everything has to be, like, moral. Like, that's not the point of the story. Obviously, don't mess with a passage. Everyone knows that. I think also because, like, there's no real equivalent. Like, it was Shadower. I'm digging myself a hole. I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to say, like, that's not the point of the story at all. Like, this kid isn't painted as some hero. He's a protagonist, but, like, it's not like a sword and sorcery type fantasy where he stops a bad guy. It's almost like a slice of life. It's like this kid exists in a world where that kind of stuff happens, but he's just a normal peasant villager dealing with that kind of stuff. They're just dealing with being in that world, you know? And I think that's the interesting part, because we never really get to see the common man dealing with living in a fantasy world. We always get the heroes or the common man becoming a hero. This isn't a story about a common man becoming a hero. This is a story about a common man living and dying a common man while being wrapped up in the hero's world, essentially. So it's interesting on that level. But yes, he does, diddle up a farm girl equivalent of Sleeping Beauty, and that's pretty messed up. But for the time period, the fantasy world was based off of, and for just the fact that he's just some dumb peasant teenager, what are you gonna do? That's what happens when there's no, like, if anything, it should be an apparent, it should show a need, a modern day equivalent need for sexual education. Because, like, to him, it's a victimless crime. And to people who molest overly drunk or passed out people who aren't gonna remember, they think it's a victimless crime. It's like, whatever, I'm getting my rocks off. She's not even gonna remember. It's whatever. No one's gonna hurt. Like, that's what they think. And people like that exist. So people like that exist in the story. So it's like, what are you gonna do? So I'm done digging that hole. Another story was a really messed up story. It involved talking Pegasus ponies and a metaphor for conformity. It was really messed up. And I'll talk about it next time on Double Jump. Oh god, it's the middle of the night, and I don't know where I'm going. I think there might be something. Oh, there's a town! Cool, I'll go to it on the next times.